in this episode.
Now, in the world, we're turning to digital systems, and we need to keep up as a country. So I've come up with Makobidi, a mobile application which will process most of the transactions digitally.
So yambirira njoti ma citizens akuli ma district council samakhala ndi access ndi ku information ya the services like provided by the council. And actually njoti the Goma district council alibe ma digital tools. So we are trying to find one which is an excellent one.
This dual-focused approach ensures that both children and educators are actively involved in the learning process, addressing the complete education ecosystem.
Welcome to the Muuni Fund Pitch Program, where innovative Malawians provide solutions for Malawi's challenges. My name is Ruth Kulaisi, and I am your host.
Muuni Fund is here. Yafika. Muuni Fund is here. Yafika. Kuthandiza Malawi tipeze njira zotana ndi mavuto kuza dziko lathu. Muuni Fund is here. Yafika. Muuni Fund is here. Yafika. Kuthandiza Malawi tipeze njira zotana ndi mavuto omwe yamagwa mdziko lathu.
Hi, welcome to Muuni Pitch Program. Looking forward to hearing about your innovation. So first off, let's start off with your name and the council that you are representing today.
Okay, my name is David Muleme, and I am representing Likoma Island. Yeah.
What is the issue that you will be addressing, and what is also the innovation that you've come up to address the problem?
Okay, the issue that I'm addressing is Likoma District Council uses paper to process tickets, and by tickets I mean receipts, and it could also be actual tickets. Mm-hmm. So let's say a person wants to pay their city rates for a property that they own. They have to physically go to the district council and wait in line, fill in a form, and then submit, make the payment, and then in return, they get a hard copy receipt.
And what is your innovation?
My innovation is an application, a mobile application, where...
Fantastic. I don't need you to tell me everything, because I don't want you to leave all the juice on this table. So I'll wish you well as you go in to meet the judges. Good luck.
All right, thank you very much. Good morning, my name is David Muleme, and my intervention area is Likoma District Council. My solution is under the category of banking and finance. And so I have created a prototype application called Makobidi, and I spelled it in English, but the actual word is Makobidi for money in Chichewa. So some quick facts. I'm addressing a problem whereby the Likoma District Council relies on paper to produce receipts, and most of the processes are paper-based. And so my intervention is to digitize that process. Some quick facts. And before I get into the facts, my presentation is in two phases. I have the problem statement or the theory of it, and then I have the prototype presentation. Okay. So on average, I heard this on the radio. I couldn't get in touch with the district council to confirm, but on average in Malawi, a city council collects revenue of up to 2 billion a year, 2 billion Malawi kwacha a year, and most of that money is processed through hard cash. Now, in the world where we're turning to digital systems and we need to keep up as a country. So I've come up with Makobigi, a mobile application which will process most of the transactions digitally. I already mentioned the problem statement, and that Likoma District Island uses papers for transactions and ticketing. So Makobigi is going to turn your mobile device into a mobile digital point of service device through an application. And it also has an offline mode which can collect the data and run it via USSD in case you don't have an internet connection. My value proposition is that it's a revolutionary product service, as Likoma will be seeing its first digital mobile application that is not only used by the district council but by the citizen through mobile devices. It's trustworthy because we are going to incorporate security systems and security protocols in it. And it's also user-friendly, as I'm going to demonstrate in the prototype presentation. This is more about the application itself. This is the digital ecosystem. So basically, we want to streamline transactions in terms of a person doesn't have to go physically to the council office to make payments. They can do it via the mobile phone. And additionally, for future expansion, there is a marketplace for local citizens similar to that of Facebook or Shein or Amazon, where someone can post their product and someone else can be able to purchase it. And that borders along with financial inclusion, whereby the entire population, as long as they have a mobile connection, they can access this service. And transparency in terms of it could be more secure than the current, for example, Facebook Marketplace, where trust is based off of your word against mine. So I could say that I have delivered a package and have you pay, and then in the end you might not receive the package. I've been a victim of one of those scams, and so I feel like this could potentially save a lot of people's money, could potentially combat scams as they're becoming more prevalent in the digital world, mostly because people are ignorant of the schemes that scammers use. So this application overrides the ignorance of the user, as it has security checks that a local person, a layman, will have to go through, but without having to have knowledge of it. This is more on security. I also forgot to mention I'm just a UI designer. The back-end developers might explain further on F2A and biometrics. I can say something about biometrics, but biometrics is basically using your Face ID or fingerprint to access information. There's also another unique feature, which is NFC technology, which is contactless transactions, whereby I can use my phone to just tap a point of service and or a QR code, and then be able to transact through that. My target market is SMEs, banks, government agencies, local residents of Likoma and any district that it might overflow to, and NGOs. These are some of the innovative solutions, which is e-ticketing. So instead of a hard copy receipt, you can get a digital copy, which you can print out if you need a hard copy. We also have an escrow service, whereby if I'm selling you a product, I'll pay to the application, and the application will only release the funds once the product is delivered. So that combats an aspect of scamming whereby people can claim they made a delivery when they haven't. Banking integration, whereby we partner with banks to have payment integration within the app, and so on. This is the rough business model. We will earn money through transaction fees, which is very tiny fees based on the scale at which transactions are going through our system. Subscription plans for people who want premium features that will later be introduced. In-app purchases where you can buy certain items within the app. We also have advertisers on the platform. We can partner with organizations such as financial institutions to have their service within the app. The bottom two could be properly explained by the developers. As I said, I'm just a UI designer. And over here we have the prototype evaluation plan under the themes that we were given. So we have scalability. This is it's a web app, so it can be spread across as long as you have an internet connection. And for the offline mode, as long as you have a working SIM card in your phone, you can use the app, and the app can create an array of keystrokes and run a USSD code in the background and complete transactions specifically for the console. For example, for paying city rates. In case you don't have an internet connection and your city rates are due, you can use the app offline, and the app in the background will run a code, the USSD code, and complete the transaction and provide you a token which you can later redeem into a receipt in the app where you have an internet connection or through the console itself. Interoperability, it can be incorporated with existing databases that the government has already collected. I have a few seconds left, so let me just move on to the prototype itself. And if you have a smartphone, you can scan the QR code and also be able to use the prototype right now. Okay, so we're gonna do a test transaction right now. So I'm gonna need you to go to the services tab. And so in the services tab, there is I don't have it in front of me, but it should be the first option, the first listing.
Commercial line private rates.
Yeah. So let's say you own a filling station in town and your city rates are due. You can register within the app, and you can have it in your database within the app. And you just click, and then it should take you to a invoice or a prepayment interface. There's a slide to pay feature. It's there also as a security for in case, let's say you get to that tab through Pocket and you're not aware, the slide mechanism prevents it from tapping the button and paying on your behalf without you knowing. I don't know if you've had instances like that where the phone clicks itself. This slide to the pay feature reduces that risk of paying.
So if I pay now,
when you swipe, that's when you can pay, because it's a more intentional gesture. And then once you do that, you can click done. And since your bank account details and your, let's say, payment details are within the app, it runs in the background. But at some point, it should ask for your biometrics. But I haven't developed that part of the prototype yet, as my budget was limited.
Okay.
So basically, that's the application. But there's also another feature, the marketplace. If you go to the market tab and click the iPhone, you could purchase the iPhone using the same process.
Thank you, David, for this presentation. Firstly, I just wanted to know from your knowledge with the Koma District Council. Do you know all the income streams that the District Council is exposed to?
At the moment, I wouldn't say I know them all. However, I did get in touch with a desk officer, and at the time that I got in touch with him, he wasn't available for a conversation. So I sent him a questionnaire, and some of the options that he picked as the revenue of the revenue streams were market fees, property rates, and the other one seems to slip my mind, but those are part of the main revenue streams. It should be business as well, business registration fees as well. I think he mentioned that in the form.
Now, have you done an assessment or even maybe access to the forms, like the market? That is how was the, maybe in percentage terms, looking at the accessibility of the phones based on the people that are on Koma?
I haven't done a thorough assessment. However, based on some research conducted in the past, I don't know, I heard it over the radio. Let me just say, I didn't do a quantitative study, as that was beyond the scope of my budget. However, when I did get in touch with the person from Ugoma, one of the target market characters is SMEs, such as, let's say, lodges or hotels. They have international guests, and from those guests, it could reach up to 100% people who have access to a mobile device. However, on the residents side, let me check out the facts, and then I can give you a more solid answer.
Okay.
But it should be a very low population who's able to access a mobile phone.
That's good. Thank you. Thanks, David, for the presentation. Very lovely, insightful, eye-opening, and definitely moving with the modern times of the digital economy, digital payments. And the biggest takeaway for me was the catchphrase, Makodidi. So, which is really nice, trendy. I really like that. Two questions as well from my end. We struggle, I think, as Malawi, most of the digital stuff systems we put out there suffer from downtime. We go to ATMs and the common is network balibi. We go to road traffic, network balibi. What are you going to do on your side as an innovator of this system? Because you're handling people's money here, and people get to get a little fuzzy about their money if it goes missing and if it's important. What are you going to do about it? That's the first aspect. The second aspect of it is I noticed you have targeted quite a large spectrum of clientele, ranging from banks and the common man, only common. And I see that there's a potential you can scale it up in other districts. But the common thing that we're all used to is mobile money. Yeah. What are you going to do to convince the common man, be it when Zuzu in Lubasu or wherever it is, that don't use this, use our app instead. From the current norm where wherever you go, there's direct money. Yeah, and you could also maybe speak on the integration of the same things.
Okay. So to address the first concern about downtime for our systems, my elder brother works for TNM, and so at this moment TNM is enhancing and improving their hosting services because of some structural changes. And so he convinced me, in case that we execute this program, he said that we should use hosting from TNM as they're improving their system. However, as an alternative to that, initially my initial idea was to host externally using a proper hosting service. For example, maybe I could get access to Google service, but that would be at a fee, and based on the budget that is allocated to the innovation, we'll see if we're able to work with or partner with, actually, because we could potentially partner with Google and create a partnership that reduces the cost for us to host, and in return maybe we could offer them advertising on the app or something like that. So in a nutshell, there's two alternatives. The first one being TNM for hosting, and my initial idea was to host externally. And the second one, more money integration. I mentioned it earlier in the presentation. There's a feature in the app that allows you to incorporate your mobile money account to the app. It allows you to incorporate your bank accounts. If you still have access to the prototype, you can go to the profile tab. There should be a card, specifically one for Muuni, and then you could add a card for TNM Pamba, you could add a card for National Bank, based on the partnerships that we might form. Okay. I'm not sure if I've answered your question.
Yeah, of course, there are some issues that I can foresee potentially, but I think that's a discussion for another day. Maybe you could also get some questions from this.
No, I think for me it's just the follow-up to what he said. For me, I think the question he had was, why would I be more interested to use your app than pay through Banga or MO 626 or indeed a bank app?
Okay.
I think that was the question. So I would want to understand that.
Yeah.
But also, just quickly, I wanted to check with you. You talked about adverts on your app.
Yeah.
Usually, it's those adverts that are offensive that will pay you better.
Yeah.
How would you ensure you balance between collecting revenue, but also making sure that your clients are not offended by using your app because of the app, the adverts?
Okay. So the kind of adverts that we'll initially provide will be incorporated within the app. So for example, if TNM wanted to advertise a service on the app, on the dashboard of the app, you'll see some tab that looks like a story, or let's say Instagram, a story tab with circles on it.
Yes.
So if you're scrolling through those stories, an ad might come as a story.
Mm-hmm.
So these ads will be checked within the system to see if they actually follow the guidelines of the community within the app. And let's say, for example, we are doing ads for maybe Google ads. We would ensure that we make partnerships that allow us to not heavily depend on ad revenue. So instead of accepting money from advertisers that might offend our users, we want to create partnerships that help us survive without those offensive advertisers. Yeah. You also had another issue. I just didn't jot it down. For the Airtel money.
Yeah, the initial question about Airtel money, because Airtel money has QR codes, I can scan QR code and pay. Why should I use this against what's happening?
Okay, so there is also an add-on feature that Airtel doesn't have at this point, the tap to pay option, which uses NFC. Yeah, technology. A lot of my international friends express their dissatisfaction with the lack of that service, as it's very convenient. So they come here and they want to pay for things on the go. You still have to stand somewhere and fill in forms and do all that stuff, and it irks them a lot. So instead of doing that, they can just tap and then maybe authorize the transaction with the fingerprint, and it's done. In terms of the local user, though, why it is better than using the native apps such as Airtel Money is that on those apps there are vulnerabilities that I think National Bank has started to use biometrics to reduce the potential scammers. So this app already has that feature, biometrics, fingerprints, and maybe your iris and stuff like that. So if there are any local citizens that are concerned with their safety, I would suggest they use this over, let's say, mobile money, things that can be overridden using an OTP. Yeah, so that's.
Thanks, David.
All right, thank you.
It's great to meet you briefly.
It's great to meet you as well.
I will remember David.
Yes,
Yes, David Makubi.
That sounds good.
takulandirani kuno ku Muuni pitch program choyamba tidziwe dzina lanu ndi council yomwe mukuchokera mukuzanso kunena zaka zanu ngati muli wokondwa kutiuza.
Zikomo kwambiri, ine ndine Memo Mtunda ndikuchokera ku Likoma District Council.
Inu vuto lomwe mukhale mukupanga address ndi vuto lanji?
Mavuto tupanga address ndi awiri. Yoyambirira njoti ma citizens aku Likoma District Council samakhala ndi access ndi ku information ya the services like provided by the council. And yachiwiri njoti Likoma District Council alibe ma digital tools. So we are trying to find them one which is an excellent one.
Inu solution yanu ndi ya mtundu wanji pamene muona nkhani ya digitization komanso access to information?
Yeah, if a solution yatu ndi website imene ndikuichula i-council records imene easy panga provide information kwa ma citizens and they can log in and they can access it online, and also it can record documents of Likoma District Council so that we can avoid the paperwork records.
Memory, Likoma, and you will do your best as you go in for that pitch. Zabwino zonse.
Thank you. Hello once again. I'm here to address the critical issues affecting the Likoma District Council. In an era where technology has become the constant for progress, it is disheartening to witness our operation being equaled by unequal practices, like from the absence of digital tools for census management to the cumbersome reliance on the paper-based records. So we are here to present a council record system which aims to revolutionize the Likoma District Council records and service management by digitizing records and offering online services to the people of Likoma. So this is all for the council's efficiency and overall governance. So after a lot of investigation in Likoma District Council, we have found out that Likoma District Council is facing many challenges. So the first one is they do not have any digital tools for service management. Like the ones they have is only IFMIS and PMIS, which is only accessible to employees on the campus itself. The second problem we have found is that the council normally uses paperwork to fill in records. So that is why the need for e-council records, which is mainly consistent of two sections. The first section is for serving online service portal and document management system. So on the online service portal, it needs to digitize the services offered to the community. Like for example, it facilitates direct interaction between the citizens and the district council. The second section of e-council records is document management system. So this one will be used by the officials, the council officials. So this one will provide features like scanning, advanced scanning capabilities, which they will be able to scan the paper document to the digital system. And also it will have features for printing, where necessary they can print the electronic documents to paper-based documents. So, So on the online portal service, users can be able to access to services. Like for example, there's a job opportunity, they can be able to access it. And they can also be able to hear to the advice of the Common Council. This is all. It shows how like the documents will be put together. So the administrator can have like the user. They can be able to have the users and assign like specific access controls to the users. They can be adding like job opportunities in different documents there. So you can be asking why you should opt for e-council ecosystem. E-council records is not just a solution. It's a commitment to the professionalism of our operations to the better of all. So e-council is, we have adopted MySQL, which is offering several options for scalability. Yes. And also it is built on a scalable infrastructure to enable the global data and user commands. And it is also inputted with regular updates and maintenance protocols so that you can adapt to the trends coming and even the challenges that may come. Under interoperability, our system is designed using the industry standard protocols that will allow for a smooth collaboration, because it is like a system which can be able to support like multiple file formats, so it can be able to collaborate with IFMIS and BMIS. Under commercial variability, our system can be sold as a software product to different districts which may require it, and even industries which may lack this opportunity. So investors are likely to be drawn to the system operating because it improves governance and it enhances public services. On the mega demand, like many citizens were taking the precious time and transportation money just to go to the office for a single payment. So e-council records is here to reduce that, because it will provide an online features which users can pay their bills online. And uniqueness is that it is integrated, like it integrates two aspects. That is what I already mentioned, like online services and document system. And also other unique features like job posting and bill payments, which are not available right now. And also document management has achieved to store like already used documents, duplicate documents from the past. On user experience, our user interface is designed on the focus of simplicity and inclusivity. It has very minimal mentions, which improves the agility to perform on some tests. And users can switch from dark to light mode, like for the people who can have eye problems and whatsoever. And so our designs, we used Figma. So I would like to show you some of our designs. Like after signing in, people will be able to access like the vacancies. They will be able to search for employers, and they will be able
Memory, that is your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Alright, for me, it's just a small question. I wanted to check one memory, it's a good presentation. But I wanted to be assured of security of data of the
Security.
users, for example. How does the system use the data of the users?
Okay, like for the terms of security, our system is designed in such a way that like each and every user will be given like what they can do in the system, what they can read and what they can read. So for example, we'll have an administrator who will assign the way to the users. Like for example, one person will be assigned to be uploading documents. One person will be assigned to like to be uploading documents, and the others like uploading job balances. Like there will be specific people for that task. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Yes. And also, you will have like a user to access it, they will have to sign in. So they'll have a password. Meaning that when signing in, the user will need to write their password in, so that when maybe recording something, maybe someone has chosen to record something which is available, and they can take like that when someone else because they log into their account. So you have the password where every user will have the password for logging in.
Thanks, Mary, for the presentation of the idea. So, Muuni, for example, Muuni, business charge alarm for just access to and using with other partners that are post vacancies and whatever. How are you going to entice them to partner with this? Because knowing Goma is a superpopulation and potentially the fees that you might generate from the users of the system. Or rather, how do you envision how to generate rolling out the system to Muuni?
Right, thank you. So about our market capabilities, we have designed our system so that for the payments, everyone, like for maybe they are not in Goma, they can do the payments. Maybe Goma is just the complete and the state somewhere else. They can also access to this system. Yeah, and also on the work and the interoperability, it shows that like this system, it refers to multiple districts. So it can be compared to like various districts. So yeah, like other districts also have an interest in our system, they can provide it, and also like other industries which have like no opportunity to leverage your system can investigate in private and they can use the skills.
Thank you so much, for speech, which is very clear. Just have two questions, especially one on the user-friendliness of the system. I'm looking at I don't know how the system shall be able to identify the age group. Because every age group has different abilities. So how will the different age groups be able to use the system in a friendly way? Whether we are totality now it was, because others are more into the language of that area. Is the system able to go the language now talk and use it in a friendly way? That's one. And secondly, you are saying that what's evaluated, there's a certain mind, because the system that you are using is much better something that. Yes. How has that system been able to integrate, or how do we integrate with the several payment platforms? Because as of now, we know that we are using the mobile systems, on the phone, as whatever. And again, the banks, banks, how easy is it that this can be integrated and make payments online from the system that is the Go Island, as well as others that are from cooperative.
Thank you for the question. I'll start with the first question on the how it is user-friendly. So our system, of course, there's information about the features of changing the languages whatsoever, but our system can also have their features. It is really a simple one. That's why we get to prosecute them. So we can add that features to our system so that right now we can so that convenience. And for the second question about how are we going to integrate the payments methods and different. So about the payments method is not about it's about designing using the industry standards protocols. This industry standard protocols support a multiple different platforms. So it will be able for our e-council to collaborate with them smoothly.
Now, okay, having responded to the market demand questions like that, now I'm looking at this to be, you say that it is something that will be attractive. Have you done a feasibility study on this? But it is something that you can indeed attract the investment in it. And are you ascertain what will be required?
For the attractiveness, we are on the regulation innovation that we're making this. Our e-council record system is a unique one. It integrates two sections, online service portal and document management. And also, a lot of investors would like a website which can offer job posting bill payments. Also, easy for them. And also in the government argument, how actual to store revenue statements. Like for example, if the office has like a lot of papers, paper records, like some records can be lost, like they can be damaged with something. So our digital system will be able to keep them secure and they will keep themselves so that a lot of investors would likely need something which is better. Yeah. And on the printing, definitely there's a way in the system. Like for example, it's not always like all the time like an organization or any company can need like electronic documents. There will be some time where they will need like paper-based way, right? So the printing feature also is stored in our system so that we can allow that. So it is really interesting to the investors.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hello and welcome to the Muuni Pitch program. Looking forward to hearing what your innovation is in the next few minutes. But before we get to that, please tell us your name and, of course, the council that you are representing.
Okay, I'm Muuni. I'm representing Beira District Council.
Fantastic. So Noel, tell us what the issue you are addressing from your council is and what your solution is.
Okay, the issue is about early child education.
Okay.
I've come up with a solution that will promote that kind of education, and this solution is an Android app that pupils are going to use, and even teachers, and sometimes the parents who will be encouraging the wards to have this kind of education. Yeah.
So early childhood development, and we're using an application, so we're going digital with education. I'm looking forward to hearing what your pitch is. Good luck as you go in to meet the judges.
Thank you so much. I'm Muuni. I'm here with a project entitled Smart Start Synergy. I'll make the presentation first, and then from there I'll go through the prototype, how it works. I've only brought one prototype because of time. The prototype is an Android application for students. I'm supposed to make two of them, one for students and the other one for teachers. So, as I was saying, I'm Muuni, a self-taught Android app developer. I didn't go to school to learn coding and taught that myself. I've made a number of applications, and through the comments that the app users make, I get inspired, and here are some of the comments that people have been making about my applications. Introduction for the Smart Synergy, which is the one I'm presenting here. It aims at revolutionizing early child development through an innovative pupils Android app and teacher app. And it does that by integrating interactive lessons, games, and teacher support. My solution is designed to enhance the cognitive, social, and emotional development of young learners in Beira and, of course, the entire country. In terms of scalability, my innovation is in promoting early child development through the Smart Synergy project can be applied to other communities in Malawi facing similar issues in several ways. One of them being that the Android apps developed for this project can easily be adapted to suit the needs of different communities, making it a versatile solution for addressing early education challenges. And I can also attach the interactive lessons and games within the app to align with specific region or cultural contexts, ensuring relevance and engagement for children in various areas of Malawi. In terms of innovation and uniqueness, the Smart Synergy stands out as innovative and distinct within the Malawi context for several reasons. One being it takes the holistic approach. Innovation takes a comprehensive approach to early child development. While there are existing education apps, my solution combines an interactive Android app for children and a dedicated teacher app. So this dual focus approach ensures that both children and educators are actively involved in the learning process, addressing the complete education ecosystem. The other reason why I'm saying it is innovative is customization. This project acknowledges the diverse cultural and linguistic landscape of Malawi. Therefore, the content will be designed to be adaptable, allowing for customization to align with local languages, traditions, and specific community needs. This flexibility will ensure relevance and engagement in various regions in the country. And as I said at the beginning, right now the prototype that I have here is a Q2 100 app, and it has only English, but other languages will be incorporated. Number 3, data-driven decision making. Smart Synergy will incorporate data collection and analysis to measure its impact. I talked about the teacher app. This one's the one that will be used to collect data from the teachers, and that data will be coming to me as the developer, and that data will be used to improve the application, so that should be one of the best that is in the country, and maybe other that is the whole continent of Africa, so that other people maybe in other countries can also go for it. Community involvement, that's number 4, will actively involve teachers, parents, and caregivers from local communities in the development and testing phases. This participatory approach will ensure that the innovation is culturally sensitive, practical, and addresses the unique challenges faced by children in communities in Malawi. I don't want this application to be only made using my knowledge. I need to gather knowledge from other stakeholders, so that it should be something that everyone, especially the kids that are going to be using it, they should like it. So that's why I talked about community involvement. Collaborative synergy, that's number 5. The name Smart Start Synergy reflects an emphasis on collaboration, fostering cooperation between parents, teachers, and children in the learning process. This sense of unity and shared responsibility sets my innovation apart, recognizing the significant impact of collaborative synergy on education outcomes. And interoperability. Smart Synergy interoperability is a key strength, facilitating seamless integration with existing education systems and technologies in Malawi. By enhancing collaboration among stakeholders, it promotes information sharing and synergy across districts or regions. This interconnectedness fosters a supportive environment for educators, parents, and policymakers, ultimately enriching the learning experience for children and maximizing the impact of education initiatives. Commerciality, the Smart Synergy has the potential to generate income while contributing to the development of quality education in Malawi. How does this? One, subscription model. I plan to offer subscription-based model for access to premium content within the Android app. Parents and caregivers, who are my primary target market, will subscribe, and that is to unlock additional lessons, features, and personalized learning experience for the children. Teacher training, the teacher app can be monetized by offering training modules and resources to educators. The other one is through partnership. I will collaborate with educational institutions, NGOs, and government agencies to integrate the innovation into early childhood education programs. Some of the organizations will be paying for the services. And then the final one, the last one, is data insight. The data collected from the app usage and learning outcomes can be valuable to education researchers and policymakers. The innovation can offer data analysis and insights as a service, generating income while contributing to evidence-based education policy decisions. So the ones that will be requiring the data, they will need to pay something. So in that way, this app will be, or this project will be able to generate income. In terms of market demand, there's a huge market demand for education resources, especially mobile applications. Nowadays, we have almost everyone has a phone, and most people, they also have these smartphones that can have the Android applications. So because of that, there's a huge demand that students, pupils, even those that are in the early child sector, they also require these applications. So the market is there. For the past 5 years, I've been selling mobile application for primary school notes, and this notes this application contains notes from standard 5 to 8. And as I was doing this, I've been receiving a lot of people have been asking me whether I can also provide a similar app that is for early classes, that is for early child development. So as you can see, the market is really there. In conclusion, this project aims at coming up with the following: interactive lessons, gamified learning, teacher support hub, and progress tracking. And now, for the prototype, this is the prototype. So as you can see, as I already said, this one is the application for pupils. To contain some of the things that I was mentioning, that's the games and some interactive lessons. So one of them, we know, kids, they have, first of all, they need to learn basic things like numbers, the alphabet, the shapes. So for numbers, okay. So some of the numbers are here. So in case you be clicking the numbers that are here, they'll be on the phone. That's what it says, it's an application. So for the sake of this presentation, that's why I'm using this, and the application, this one here in the phone. So when they press a number, you'll be able to get a process. This is what, like for example, I'm pressing here is 2, this one, and 5. Then 28. As for alphabet, the same thing. Let's say they press 1, let's say if he presses U, you tell him or her that this is U, and through that be able to learn that what I press here is, let's say this one is B, and this is how B looks like. That is from the sound that you will be getting from the phone. And also the shapes, this one is a triangle, but it will be difficult.
Thank you very much. We'll now get to your Q&A. I'm sure you'll be able to explain a bit more within your question after. Thank you.
What data do you have to us? So maybe I consulted so many people, or maybe so many people came to me that and so on. Because you just said there's demand. How do you measure demand?
Okay. What I need to say is that it's not that I do have the stats, but what I need to say is that almost every day I receive emails from the users. Not of this app. I do have other apps. Yeah, like the private apps, the one that a lot of people do ask me questions about, and some people will make recommendations that maybe I should also consider other classes. And as for that, what we've talked about is this. I put this one here. Yeah, this is okay. This is like a conversation on LinkedIn. This one is every band engineering. She was talking about an application saying that here is a great resource in the education sector, and she tagged Mary. She's from USID, and this is what she said. Thanks, everybody. This is the kind of innovation we need in the sector. We share this with the team. And here is someone who works in Chewa at this education office. He was saying that thank you for the primary school notes for Malawi kids. I found it very helpful. Malawi needs people making some other content to be accessed through premium, like other games. I mean, like the games that kids play. There are some levels. They will say from this level to this level is free, but for you to access these other levels, you have to unlock by paying something. So it will be something similar, not necessarily that there will be let's say when one achieves this first part, then second part, or third level, then there will be, there will be some contents that will be basic, very basic. Those ones will be access free for the sake of making a lot of people know this app, how it works, because it will not be nice that this application should be accessed by only those people who have money. Some people in the villages, it's very difficult for them to find to source money. So they have to access those basics. But for the premiums, there will be some advanced lessons that was that will be in the premium. But for the basics ones, they will be accessed by anyone with paying something. Yeah. Okay. For this app, as I already said, I made it starting from last week. I finalized it today. Yeah. But for the primary one, it's not accredited, but there were some, officials who have been referring to officials in the education. Like there was one, the education division manager for North referred me to someone at Capitol Hill. I talked to this person, and then I was referred to some lecturers in Mast, so that they can help me in making sure that this one should be something that the government can take. Yeah?
Okay, so the feedback that you're showing us here is for the primary app.
For the primary app.
Not for this app.
Yeah, not for this app. Because this app, I've not yet released it. And no one knows that I've made this. Yeah, I made this one for this Muuni project.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Right, thank you, Nora, for this presentation. Now, just to pick one. Before I forget, I have to start from the last one that he just came in on accreditation of the app. So you're looking at what you have done so far, and there are a lot of comments that are positive. Do you see yourself able, or what capacity do you have that you can say the whole practice, like the primary education, whatever they need, that you can come up with the packages to say, okay, this is the primary school app, which is looking at all the subjects, depending on the age. Well, that's the first one. Second thing, you were saying that this is culturally, I say culturally compliant. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Culturally.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about one, what have you taken into account when it comes to a child being taught values by a parent, as well as what is expected by the teacher? Has it been taken into account when you come up with the apps? Right? And then another thing is it is something that is a smart start, synergy, as you are saying.
Yeah, sure.
There is a way that even interventions that a parent or a teacher must come up with. They will come up depending on the way how the child is understanding the app. Possibly sometimes it might, you might come up with the right interventions, or so how do you, how has it been designed such that there are right interventions for children at different ages? The last one. Maybe there are many. And the last one is the accessibility. Accessibility open. This is needed. This can be used on an Android phone, not sure. Android phone. Now in the villages, you don't have Android phone. So how do you expect it to be to go that far, especially where what they have only
Most of it.
most of it. Can they have that access? Yeah, and the last one, he, the first judge indicated that you already have it in use. Some are already used. Then they've already developed some applications. Based on the comments, whatever, do you see that there is indeed a big market for this? For example, thank you. There are too many.
I will remind
So you start with the extension of the accreditation. Okay, well, the capacity to build.
Okay, on the part of accreditation, on my own is not possible. I need to involve other individuals or companies. Because I know that this is not possible for me, do apply for projects. Like for example, this project here, the Muuni project, I apply because of the same thing, because I know that if maybe I become one of the winners, there will be some funds which I can use to make this one become something that is official. And as I am a Fulbright alumni, there are some projects which the American government, the US Embassy, they do tell us to apply. So I've been applying for all those projects, and my aim is that if I win, whatever fund that I get from there, I'll use that to make sure that this one is what is accredited, and I am able to scale it up. Yeah. And then on the part of values, teaching student values, teachers values, I always said at the beginning that for this app to be made, for me to say that now it is done, I need to involve a number of stakeholders, parents being some of them. I can't say that this one is ready when I use only my knowledge, because the stakeholders need other things to be there, or whatever that I make might be something harmful to the future. So they have to check whether what I've made is okay or not.
The child performance on the app and the intervention of the teacher. Because being that you are looking at also have the app would be using. So how shall the teacher know how this child is doing? Likewise, even parents. Because parents also have to come in any gaps that this app will identify. Because the app will identify a gap also.
Yeah. Okay, on that part, there will be assessment. I'm a teacher by profession. We regard assessment as something very important in education. We don't just teach, but we also assess the students so that we know that students have grasped something or not.
What do you, in terms of access?
Okay, in terms of accessibility, you talked about in the villages, most people, they do have the most mobile phones. Okay, the thing is, it's like the country is getting developed. I don't think it would be right to say that in those villages, they always have the most mobile phones. There will be a time when they will be having these smartphones. So we should be ambitious enough to say that even if they are not having these smartphones in the villages there will come a time when they are going to have these smartphones. And apart from having that mindset, the schools, students can access these applications in schools, yeah, and they can even form groups, or let's say the pupils can go, or the parent can take a pupil to press, or let's say to a household where there is this phone is available, and talk to the parent of that that side, so that maybe his or our child can learn from the phone. That's also possible. Yeah. But my target is that even though there are no smartphones there, this application should be accessible in a way that the schools, they should have them. It was, I think, yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, when the president was launching a certain project, and there was a saying that tablets have been distributed in the schools. These tablets will not only be distributed to schools that are in town, also it has been distributed to schools that are in the villages. I work with a certain organization known as Computer for Enhanced Education. This organization distributes computers to schools that are in rural areas, so that them too, they should benefit from these applications. And apart from the fact that this application is an Android app, it will also be accessed by, through the computers. As you can see, I'm accessing this tool using this laptop. So in these schools where there are these computers, students can, or desktop, whether laptop or tablet, they can access this application through those gadgets, not only on the phones. And it can also be put on the Google Market, that is Play Store, so that anyone can download from anywhere. Yeah, as long as that person has the data. Yeah.
I think for me, it's the question I asked the presenter about, because he claimed that he had received a lot of feedback for him to develop this app. So the question was, how do you convince us that there was demand? So I think for me, he didn't give us that much evidence that there is a demand for the app that is presented.
What are your thoughts on the innovations? Drop your reactions in the comment section below. Until next time, create, innovate, develop.
Muuni Fund is here. Yafika. Muuni Fund is here. Yafika. Kuthandiza Malawi, tipeze njira zotana ndi mavuto kuza dziko lathu. Muuni Fund is here. Yafika. Muuni Fund is here. Yafika. Kuthandiza Malawi, tipeze njira zotana ndi mavuto omwe amagwa mdziko lathu.